What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Last Call on Carson Daly. Tonight, an old friend returns to the show at 56. He just released his 26th new album. It's wonderful. It's called Reality. Tonight, we have him for the entire show. Let's kick things off with some music. Performing New Killer Star. Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Bowie. Fantastic. Thank you. David Bowie, everybody. Thank you, sir. We'll be right back. We got them all show long. We're going to talk after this and plenty of music still coming up. We'll be right back. Needless to say, some extra applause tonight. For a second there, I actually thought it was for me, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Let's not waste any time with any cheesy intros. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour, David Bowie. sit down. You're sitting down. It's the audience we have to have sit down, and a standing ovation for David Bowie.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm fine. I was just doing an infomercial next door. I found myself. I probably must have been in the wrong studio.
Oh yeah.
But I
Who told him?
I tell you what. I sold a lot of jewelry.
Yeah, did you really? People at home watching right now, as they're flipping, can leave the David Bowie interview and go to the infomercials right now. It's
yeah,
they're
replaying it right now. I'm selling it like crazy. I cannot believe how well I did.
David Bowie's Food Dehydrator.
Something I used to sleep in.
I'd buy one.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so great to have you here.
I know so many people in this audience.
Yeah, It's a homecoming in New York, David Bowie. Hello.
Shall I do that again? It was fun.
That's great.
I know so many people in this audience.
That's funny you mention that. This is the portion of the show where we get to know each and every one of them. We'll start with you now. You were here.
That's the Steve Martin bit.
Was it?
Yeah. I'd like to thank you all personally. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
David, you were here for Heathen. We've only been on the air a year and a half, and you are already promoting your second album. You're like Jay-Z now, pumping out records. What has gotten into you?
Carson, you know something? I'm nothing like Jay-Z.
Yeah, but you're just banging out stuff now. Is there something going on in your life? Are you feeling just super creative
I always
these days?
used to record a lot, and much more than this. I mean, sometimes if I was working with another artist and writing for them, I could easily do 3 albums a year, you know, of material that I'd written or co-written, whatever. I probably couldn't manage that these days, but I can certainly do an album a year with very comfortably. It's no problem for me to write that much. And this record label I'm with now, Sony, Columbia, whatever you call it, when they took my label, well, you know, I get confused. I'm an older guy. Give me some slack here. Of my label. They've been very free about when I want to record and when I want to release, and that they've given me a lot of leeway, which is really terrific. Right. I do appreciate that.
As they should. You've earned
it. It's lovely. I understand, you know, because the economics of this industry, you have to have this like sell-off kind of period with a new album, and they have this kind of like factory-like scheduling system where they know 15 months in advance who's coming out on that month, and it's another world from when I was starting out, you know.
Right.
It was very different back then, because nobody in the music industry knew anything about the music industry, which made it so cool.
They still don't, I'm pretty sure.
Well, they know about the advertising industry and television, and they all come from these other industries, you know.
And now they're suing 12-year-olds, like the RAAA, for downloading.
Can you believe that?
What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's disgraceful. I think it's unbelievable, but it's so typical of industry thought, of their think process, like, we want to attract consumers, therefore let's put some of them in jail.
Yeah, but they're 12-year-olds.
Yeah, I know.
There's one 12-year-old, I think they're suing, they've said they sort of racked up the miles of downloading, and it's like, okay, $30 billion you owe us. It's just ridiculous.
That poor guy, well, yeah, I think didn't they cut it down to like $2,000 or something?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure the 12-year-old doesn't, unless it's one of the Olsen twins, doesn't have $2,000.
They're still 12?
I don't know. I hope they're closer to 18.
What, both of them?
Who knows? Combined age. I want to talk, how is Alexandria? How is your daughter? She turned 3.
Sorry, I love all that.
I feel like I'm back. I worked my ass off to get off of MTV's TRL to come here to do a sit-down with David Bowie, and yet I'm back in Times Square.
All my friends are really immature. Yeah.
How is Alexandra? She turned 3. How was her birthday?
She's really immature.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, you know, it's I've been telling her, you know, you've been around a long time now, girl. It's time to start thinking about growing up, right? You know, but no, she won't have any of it.
Yeah. How was it?
Won't eat this and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No. I'm going home. And then she'll go from one room to another room. That's home.
Right.
Whatever room she's not in is home.
It's home.
Yeah, it's very
I heard
fun.
that her birthday fell on the blackout here in New York.
Yeah. It was. I was here during '77 during that awful blackout. You wouldn't. You're a baby. There was a blackout in '77, and that was really terrifying because there were a lot of car burnings and lootings. Way over 1,500 stores were broken into, and all that was going on. And everybody at that period, we all went to our apartments and sat there in the pitch black because we were all terrified. I mean, terrified of being on the street.
That didn't happen this year.
It was
it was a drunk fest this year.
Unbelievable. Oh, it was fantastic. No, I loved it. I loved the change.
And what did you do?
I went up to my apartment. I sat there rigidly, thinking it might be like 1977 on the street. So when I eventually came back down, they said, "No, man, you missed. There was all these block parties."
And free beer, Bowie. What were you doing upstairs?
No, we had a great time because it was Lexi's birthday, and so obviously we couldn't have a party or anything. So. We went out onto, we got a little balcony and we went out on there with candles and the radio and portable radio and CDs and sang nursery rhymes and played songs, and it was lovely. We had a lovely, lovely time. And everybody in the street was so cool because all the little corner shops were, instead of like trying to con everybody and sell their food off at top price, they were like giving it away.
Right.
They're saying, this food's going off, come and get it. And the whole atmosphere, and I hate to say that out of negative situations, no, it's good to say out of a negative situation something positive happened, because this wouldn't have happened before 9/11. I'm quite sure of it. There was a vibe in the street because we were in rehearsals when the electricity went down, and we were all walking down. We were walking and we're like, oh, what? Maybe 2-3 blocks. We had to. No, I'm lying. No, I'm being flippant. 20-30 blocks. I mean, it's a long walk. And everybody was kind of cautious for the first few minutes. And then people started talking to each other, how far you got to go, blah, blah. And the atmosphere was unreal. It was so beautiful.
Right.
And you really felt a community that was actually pulling together and saying, look, we can't do any of this on our own. None of us can do anything on our own. We've got to do it together.
Right.
And it was such a lovely feeling, And
a lot of that feeling, I think, is important. You capture a lot of that on the album Reality, as opposed to, I think, Heathen, what we did up there in the Catskills, sort of embodied some of that spirituality, but Reality really does, for you, I know you live about a mile from Ground Zero.
Yeah.
What is it about New York City that sort of inspired you to feel through this record?
It's been a spiritual and an intellectual home for me ever since I was a kid, teenager anyway, because so many of my heroes or the genesis of what they ended up doing started in New York, like Bob Dylan and freewheeling and all that, and Allen Ginsberg and the Beats, and the first bebop jazz players, Charlie Bird and Dizzy Gillespie and all that. That all happened here, and it was like, wow, that's the place, that's the furnace of new ideas and what the new century is about and all that. And I've got to go there, I've got to go there, I've got to go there. And so when I came here, man, it was like, this is unreal, And I keep gravitating back to New York all the time, because it's my cultural university in a way, It's the place where you learn such a lot about yourself and about other people living in New York.
Right.
You really do.
This is the news I got. I know you're going to do the world tour. It's the first one over a decade in October.
Yeah.
And then I also read that the Pixies are getting back, and I thought...
Unbelievable. That's fantastic.
I thought David Bowie's going to have to take the Pixies on the road with him.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah.
Is there any way that's possible?
I literally heard that this afternoon from one of your guys.
Right.
They told me about
it makes you great.
Actually, Charles or Frank or whatever you want to call him, well, he's 15 different people. He just sent me a new solo album that he's done, which is absolutely wonderful. It's not out yet. It'll be coming out later on this year. Really superb new stuff he's writing. So he's really prolific. I mean, he's great. He's like that. He's like that and he's like that.
Can I ask you, Johnny Cash recently passed. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, obviously, it's sad. I don't know much about him, I mean, it's probably a gap in my musical knowledge, but I don't know anything about that kind of music, country and western and all that. I used to like his vibe. I mean, I thought he had lots of front, didn't he? A lot of attitude. I liked his attitude and all those black clothes, and I like that.
Right.
Was it Ring of Fire? That was good. That was good.
All right.
I hate doing that. No, I'm not being... I don't know how to put it. I just didn't know enough about him, you know what I mean?
Sure, I think that's fair to say. And tell me about Never Get Old, which you're going to do for us now.
It's just a vow that I made to myself about 3 or 4 months ago, never to get old. So, I thought...
I think you're pulling it off.
I thought, if you can make that kind of vow, you better write a little song so you don't forget.
All right. And you're going to do that for us. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we get back, more music from David Bowie right after this.
Now performing Never Get Old. Give it up one more time for David Bowie.
Better take care. Think I better go, better get a room, better take care of me. Again and again. Think about this and I think about personal history. Better take care. Breathe real deep when the movie gets real and start turns around. Again and again. He looks me in the eye, says he's got his mind on a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Forever. Screaming in the dark, living until the end of time. Forever. Skies red soul to a dull red soul. Man and gold, this is all over now. And we're never gonna be enough money. It's never gonna be enough jobs. So we're never gonna get it up. Never ever gonna be in class. Never gonna be enough sex. We're never ever gonna get it up. Never ever gonna get high. Never ever gonna get low. Never ever gonna get Better take care. Moon flows on to the edges of the world because of you. Again and again. I'm awake in an age of light, living in because of you. Better take care. Looking at the future solid as a rock because of you. Again and again. Wanna be here and I wanna be there, living just like you, living just like me. Burning on the gloves, on the bury my bones in the marshland. Forever. Think about my soul and it don't mean a thing, just the ring of the bell and the pure clean air. And I'm running down the street of life. And I'm never gonna let you die. And I'm never gonna get old. No, we're never ever gonna get. No, we're never ever gonna get. No, we're never ever gonna get old. No, we're never ever gonna get. No, we're never ever gonna get. No, we're never ever gonna get Thank you.
It's the applause. That's all the show we have. I want to thank David Bowie for being here. Reality's a record. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Carson.
Great to have you. Here to play us out, Hang On to Yourself, a classic. David Bowie and the band. Good night, everybody.
She's a tall distant star, she will come to the shore tonight, bring to the night machine. She was so hard on my mind, she's a put it back a liquor, being on an electric dream. Come on. like there's a Vaseline. You know the feeling comes out, baby.